Hey, how you guys doing? This is Robbie Tolk. I'm so excited today because I get to introduce one of my good friends who I've met and hung out with and been able to spend some time with and has helped really change some of the ways I look at the world. His name is Steve Olsher, and he's here today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How you doing, my man?
Awesome, awesome. I'm just so excited to have you here. I recently read your book, What is Your What? And it was amazing. And I gave it to some of my friends, and they loved it too. And I was so honored that you asked me to write an excerpt. And I really want to get it out to everyone that I speak with and talk to, because I know the number one thing you need to find in your life is what is your what.
Absolutely, and I can tell you that fortunately, this is the bound manuscript here. What is your what? Discover the one amazing thing you were born to do. But your endorsement made the final cut there, man. So thanks again for that. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Can you give me just a quick 2-minute synopsis? I'm going to make this short so that people can really drive, because I loved it so much, I don't think you need to hear anymore, but I wanted you to see the man who wrote the book.
Yeah, well, quick and dirty here. Go get a free copy. Go get a free copy at WhatisYourWhat.com. We're giving away free hard copies. You got a few days left on that. But
wait, hard copies?
Hard copies.
Come on.
Free hard copies.
I don't think I've ever gotten a free hard copy before.
Yeah, well, man, it's we try to do things a little different here, and figure, seeing something on the screen is great, but this is a book where you actually got to put pen to paper so you can get to the answers that you need. And my way of thinking here is that your what is, some people call it your passion, your purpose, your destiny, your calling. I don't care what you call it. You just really got to figure out what it is and understand that your what. It's not something that you do. It's really who you are. It's what is inherent to your blueprint, is inherent to your DNA. There's really nothing you can do about it, because your what has chosen you. It is not that which you have chosen. And to be able to solve that equation, you need to be very clear on, first, what your gifts are. Second, the vehicle that you use to share those gifts with the world. And then third, the people that you're most compelled to serve. And it's those three components combined that, in my way of thinking, really help you answer the question of what is your what? What is that one amazing thing you were born to do?
That's amazing, and I know that's a big struggle, especially because I'm 27, and a lot of my friends and older people and even younger people, but especially my generation, is really seeking that extremely consciously. At least my friends are, and I know you attract who you are. And I think going through it myself, it really even narrowed down what is my what. And I thought I was one of the lucky ones who, from your book, was able to find it at a young age, and then had the struggle manifesting it. But really diving in and going through a book like this is something I really recommend, and really thank you for doing, because it just saves so much agony for people.
Yeah, and reality is that there are 4 types of people who walk this earth. You fall into that birther category, right? Where you said you kind of knew pretty early on what it is that you want to do. But most people are wanderers, and they just kind of, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I just mean that they go through life without ever really being able to answer that question. Either because, number one, they're not even aware that it's the possibility that possibility exists for them to have something that they're really compelled to do, or second to that, they haven't received the education that they need in order to find it. So, I work with thousands of people and help thousands of people now discover what that is. And most people, when they come in, either to one of the live events or start on page 1 of the book, they're pretty fuzzy on exactly what the answers are for them. And I'm just really happy to have created a framework that helps people get to those answers.
So, yeah, and that framework's so huge, because one of the biggest objections that I have when I start talking with people, because I love playing that game of helping them find what it is, my big sticking point is, well, I don't know. I just don't know what it is. Should it speak to me? Should it sing to me? Should I just wake up with it? I just don't know, so I'm going to freak out and not think about it.
Yeah, and frankly, that's how most people go through life, is if it doesn't come easy, it's like the Homer Simpson thing, man, right? If it's too hard to do, it's not worth doing, right? That's Homer's approach to life. If everybody could get paid extraordinarily well doing what it is that comes as naturally to them as breathing, I mean, they'd all be doing it, right? Which is why you see so few people who we all try to live vicariously through. I mean, why do you think there's so many entertainment-related programs, right? I mean, it's people live to just try to do what these people are doing because there's so few of them that are out there, right? I mean, and I know you've thrown around numbers before as we've talked about it, where you think it's 70 to 75% of those that walk this planet that really have no clue about what it is that they're truly compelled to do. I would put that number actually much higher. I would put that number as closer to 97 or 98%.
Yeah, I would agree with you just from talking with people. And the thing that I think that I realized when I honed in, knowing what I wanted to do and then having the guts and get over my fears and my doubts to go and do it, despite what anyone else says, is that's what the people do to live the fullest life, but also the people that I believe that are making the most amount of money. And money to me is value driven to the marketplace. So what do you find in that category? I mean, is that also what you're seeing is when you find your what, the money just flows?
Well, I'm not one of those people who will tell you to do what you love to do and the money will follow. I mean, that's, I can't subscribe to that notion because I know how hard it is to actually create a business around what it is that you're truly compelled to do. I will say that, if a ball player can get paid millions of dollars to hit a ball with a stick, then you should absolutely charge what the market will bear and learn to become comfortable with earning a phenomenal living, doing what comes as natural to you as baseball does for, Alex Rodriguez, absent, of course, of the Balco thing, but we won't go into details on that. But, the point being that you should never apologize for charging what you're worth, and you should never feel bad about getting paid extraordinarily well for what you are extraordinarily good at. But at the same token, you have to understand that, money's not for everybody. And if that's if that's where you are, then cool. I mean, support your favorite charity, give it away, do what you got to do. But ultimately, if you want to share your message with the world and spread it far and wide, you have to have money to do that. I mean, it's just the nature of the game.
I agree with you, and I love that you added in the hard work. I believe that is what's left out. I went, a very spiritual path, and as much as I meditate and allow, I wake up and I put in, 14 to sometimes 18-hour days and to build a business. It's no joke. And I'm glad that you don't, he's a straight shooter. He's not trying to tell you, you're going to find your what in 2 seconds, but you've been doing it for thousands of people. I know that there's this amazing event that you have coming in January out in San Diego, and I got my eye on that map because I know it's freezing in Connecticut. Can you share a little more about what that is, and if anyone's interested, I'll be able to lead them in that direction?
Sure. So since 2009, I've been teaching a course called the Reinvention Workshop. And the Reinvention Workshop is sort of like What Is Your What Live, right? I mean, it's where I take people through my specific process for becoming very clear on... Let me back up for a second, just real quick here for a second. I don't want to mislead people because so many people, when they find out about the book, they're like, oh, cool, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to figure out what my what is, and my life's going to change this, that, and the other. I mean, that will happen, but the book, as you know, because you've read it, you provided a great endorsement for it, thank you. And the workshop takes people first through the processes of understanding how to establish a solid foundation, because I can't just send people off to do this great work if the foundation that they have built is not solid, right? So the first thing that we do is really get people clear on what are your strengths, what are your self-imposed limitations, how are you naturally wired to excel, so that we can then build upon that solid foundation really ways that you can deal with life in a meaningful, powerful, purposeful way, which takes people through something that I created called the 7 life-altering principles. And then we move into the whole concept of what is your what, defining your gifts, the vehicle, the people that you're most compelled to serve, creating that plan of action, then how do you monetize it so you can share that gift far and wide. But, just so that people aren't like, I'm just going to jump in and figure out what I'm compelled. This is hard work, man. You have got to understand just really how you're wired. And most of us operate on autopilot, where things just happen and we kind of react to the world in a way that's most familiar and most comfortable. And then a lot of us are just kind of like windsocks, where things happen and we kind of blow this way, and then things happen and we kind of blow this way. So sometimes good, sometimes bad. And the first part of what we do in the book and in the live event is really set those deep anchors into your soul so that you can understand what that path is that you're going to take and how to maintain focus on where you're headed. Because, again, it's so easy for life to throw you off path. And if you're going to share your what with the world in a meaningful way, you have got to avoid those distractions, because all roads in the state of distraction, eventually leads you to somewhere you don't want to go. And so just really clear on that the Reinvention Workshop, which is a live event we're doing in San Diego, January 17th, 18th, and 19th, is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. But as we said earlier, it's also going to be a lot of work. I mean, we're going to dig deep. We're going to pull some shit out that, you might not even realize is there. But ultimately, we're going to get that foundation in place so that you can do the amazing things that you were absolutely born to do.
I love it, and I love it because there's so many ideas out there of, find what you want and get rich quick doing it. And my journey has been more along what your journey is, which is find out what you love doing and put some hard work in. And it's been amazing, and I've loved the whole process. But, it's like building a house. You got to pick up the shovel and dig. And at least when you're doing what you love, I wake up excited every day to do it. And if you are someone who doesn't know what your what is, I've given it to friends. I think you got to read this. I'm providing a link below to connect with Steve, and I can't wait to see you again soon. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to share a message with my audience and the people that I truly care about. So thank you so much. And is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Basically, it's... From where I sit, you have to understand, Dr. Wayne Dyer says this best, is he says that everything that happens to us in life, no matter how painful, eventually leads us to a place of higher value. And so no matter what you've experienced, you got to understand that life starts over right now, right? And it starts over again right now. And Andrea Robinson, who is one of the students of mine, she's one of my coaching students. Anyway, long story short, she said that it basically took her 60 years to become clear that she is the answer. She is the solution to someone else's problem. And so that's what I put out to you, to know that you are the solution to someone else's problem. The longer you keep those gifts within, the longer you deny both yourself and the rest of the world the power of who you inherently are. And so I don't care if it's through What Is Your What? I don't care if it's through the Reinvention Workshop. I mean, I'd obviously love for you to read the book. I'd love for you to join us. But figure out what it is and go out there and share your gift with reckless abandon, because we're all out here waiting for you. And I know that if you go out and figure out what it is that you're compelled to do, you're going to make this world a better place, which in turn makes my world a better place. So I highly encourage you to do it. And like I said, the world is waiting for you.
Beautifully said, my friend, and I really look forward to talking to you soon, and thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Sounds good.
Bye.